There you go. The recording is on. So, hi everyone. Welcome to the live session of the Masterclass. And today's session is going to be super special because today we are going to understand how to use Automate X. A lot of people have been requesting a specific, I would say, session or a special lesson on how to use Automate X. So, today I am going to be demonstrating how to install Automate X or how does the API work or the different functions of Automate X, how you can use it to your advantage as well. All right. So today's session is going to be completely dedicated on understanding how to use Automate X, which is a toolkit that I have developed to help you automate your work in Microsoft Excel to use ChatGPT and AI within Microsoft Excel. Is everyone absolutely clear with this? Can I have a yes in the chat if everyone is clear with what is today's agenda? Yes. Okay, wonderful. Now, guys, I will be also recording. As you can see, the session is also being recorded. I will be recording the entire session, and chances are I will also be using the entire recording into multiple clips and adding it as separate lessons inside your program. So you can always refer to specific parts of the entire live session and understand specifically what all does this particular function do in the future in case you ever want to go back to it. All right. So this is a live session. If you want me to confirm, well, today is the 24th of December, 1 p.m. It's a live session, but I will be conducting it in a way that I can use it into multiple clips. So I can give you small bits and pieces so you can refer to it instead of going through the entire video. Are we all clear with this? Yes or no in the chat? Yes, all clear? Wonderful. Chalo. So I'm going to continue with the entire session. I will be closing the Zoom chat and taking questions towards the end of the entire session. As I told you, I will be cutting the entire recording into multiple bits and pieces. So I do not want to also answer questions throughout the live session. Otherwise, it will in the future waste your time. All right. So all questions towards the end of the entire session, we will be taking all of it together. All right. Now, let us go ahead and get started with the entire session. By the way, someone is asking, Mayank is asking, will the questions also be recorded? Absolutely. The questions will also be recorded. Just towards the end of it, we will be taking all the questions. I hope that is clear to everyone. All right. Chalo. So no questions for now. The Zoom chat is closed. Let us get started, guys. The very first thing that I want to do is quickly jump back. Let me close this for now. How do I close this? There you go. Close. Perfect. All right. So let us get started, guys. First of all, how do you install AutomateX? So if you want to learn how to install AutomateX on your system, whether it is a Windows PC or a Windows laptop, whether it is your personal laptop or your corporate laptop, whatever the case is, I have created an entire 4-minute tutorial to help you understand it systematically. The link of the tutorial is in front of you. So right here, this is the YouTube link of the entire video. All you have to do is go to this link and later install AutomateX in case you do not have it already installed. I will not be spending time on explaining you once again how to install AutomateX because I have already created a video for it. So I hope that is clear. The link will be given to you as well. Not a problem at all. All right. Now, once you install AutomateX, this is how it is going to look like in Microsoft Excel. So right here, you would be having a tab which is called AutomateX. And the very first thing that the video mentions is that you will be having a trial version of AutomateX. So by default, AutomateX, whenever you install, you have the option of starting your trial, which is 30 days long. All right. If you have started your trial and if 30 days are over, if you want to upgrade AutomateX, because you are a part of my masterclass, you would also be having a license key given to you. In case you don't have a license key, don't worry, I will be talking about that later as well. All right. But assuming you have a license key, this is how you activate your premium version of AutomateX. To do so, you will have to go to AutomateX once it is installed in Microsoft Excel. Then you will have to go to license, click on it, and you will see a button called upgrade. If you have a trial period, the number of days left will be mentioned right here as well. However, if you want to upgrade it for 2 years, 10 years, or basically a perpetual license in the form of 2 years, which is automatically going to renew, all you have to do is take your license key, click on the upgrade button, copy and paste your license key right here. All right. And then click on the submit button. Once you do that, your license will be activated and you will be having the premium features unlocked for Automate X. As simple as that. The purpose of this entire video is to help you understand different features of Automate X very quickly. So I will be going ahead and giving you an example for a lot of different functions that Automate X carries. You can use the functions that are relevant to you, that are important to you, and that can help you save a lot of your time and your effort. Starting off with the first one, a lot of people create reports on a routine basis. A lot of us work across different departments and we have to create weekly, quarterly, monthly reports, annual reports, whatever the case is, for our department or just for our company for different purposes. In AutomateX, you have a template library, which if you click on, you will see a lot of different templates for a lot of different departments. All you have to do is go to any department that you are working in and simply select whatever department's report or anything in Excel that you want to create which relates to your work. For example, if I just take the first one, which is accounting, right? Right here, you have accounts payable, receivable, you have expense report, you have invoice template as well. So if I click on invoice template, as you can see right here, I have a complete invoice template ready for me. Everything that I enter here, for example, the company info, I can put in my company info and you can see in the invoice, you have all of it mentioned right here. So everything is completely automated. All you have to do is read the introduction worksheet to understand how the entire template works. There are a lot of templates, more than 100 templates is what you have within AutomateX. So all you have to do before using any of these templates is read the introduction worksheet. Every template will have an introduction worksheet, which will help you understand what does each worksheet do. It is virtually impossible for me to sit and explain all 100 worksheets together to you, which is exactly why you have the introduction worksheet added, so that you get to understand only what is relevant to you instead of spending your time learning 100 things out of which 95 might not be applicable to you. Simple as that. All right. Similarly, you can go ahead. Let me just close this. Click on select template. You can go ahead and go to, let's say, data analysis, and you can, let's say, create a scatter diagram, right? Again, you have introduction, you have the scatter diagram, and you have the test table right here as well. So for those people who work in data, you know what these things are. If you do not know it, you're not working in data, and that's absolutely fine. All right. So as you can see, multiple different templates, operations, management, accounting, marketing templates, HR templates, a lot of stuff. This is your first function of AutomateX. All right. One thing to remember, guys, AutomateX templates that you have here by default are saved in the same location as to where your Excel file is. So for example, here I have this Excel file called AutomateX demo. Now, AutomateX demo is stored on my desktop. So the moment I create any of these templates, they are saved as a separate Excel file in the same location, that is on my desktop. For example, if I quickly open up my desktop, let me just do that. There you go. You can see this accounting invoice template and you have a data analysis scatter diagram, right? So wherever you have your main Excel file, via which you have used these templates, you have created these templates, the location of your reports will also be the same. One thing to understand here, if you are trying to create a report and it does not work for you, this is the reason why it will not work for you. If you have, here I have a saved Excel file. If you have created a new workbook, for example, if I just randomly open up a new workbook, without saving it, all right, without saving it anywhere. Now I try to go to AutomateX and try to create a template. It will give me an error. Understand the reason behind this. If you don't save something, by default, it does not have a location. It will not basically give you a template because template also does not know where to get saved, correct or not. So this is something that you have to keep in mind while using the templates. Number two, if you have your main Excel file saved in your C drive, Again, the templates will not work because Windows by default does not allow anyone to modify the C drive. So you can save your main Excel file anywhere except C drive, on your desktop, in your downloads folder, in a subfolder, wherever you want, all right, but not in your C drive. Otherwise, because Windows will not allow me to edit that location, I cannot save the template, and that's why you will get an error. So these two things to keep in mind, otherwise you are good to go. Normally, what you can do is you can basically have an Excel file open, which is saved on your desktop. And then you can create as many templates as you want, the way I've shown you a few minutes back. All right. So this is basically how your templates work. All right. Now, coming to the next function, guys, which is AI freeform. This is the second most important function of AutomateX. And this is something that I want to also, I would say, explain a lot more to you in this video. So if you are planning on using AI in Microsoft Excel, the very first thing that you need to understand is AI will require something called as ChatGPT free API key. Now, ChatGPT API key does not require you to have ChatGPT Plus. So even if you have the free version of ChatGPT, you can still get the API. You don't need to purchase ChatGPT Plus to get ChatGPT API key. Second, ChatGPT API is free for every user up to $5. $5 is something that if you have to use AI in Microsoft Excel, even if you use it regularly, it will at least take you 1.5 months to use up those $5. All right. So after that, you will obviously have to pay for it. The charges are hardly what I would say 50 rupees, 100 rupees, maybe a month, I think, which is something that you can definitely afford, right? So this is what you need to do in order to use AI in Microsoft Excel. Now, the question is, how do you get your API key? Now, even though I have created a tutorial for you in terms of how to get the API key, let me quickly explain it to you in this video itself, all right? So you will have to click on this button at the bottom called AI settings. ChatGPT is right here. You have this button called AI settings. Let me quickly click on it and help you understand what it is, all right? So just a second. Okay, so have a look at this. For now, just because I'm recording this video, I have replaced my API key with my name. All right, so it does not show up as a part of the video, but this is basically where you will have to enter your API key. Now, how do you get API key? You will have to click right here. You see this get API key here, and you have a button or not a button, but a bracket, which is disguised as a button called click. If you click on it, you will go to platform.openai.com/account/API-keys. Okay. Now, you can either remember this via this video, type it in your browser, or you can simply, the way I've shown you, click on that click bracket, and it will take you to your website or to this website via your browser. Okay. Now you will have to go here and log into your account. As I've told you earlier, free account, absolutely fine. You don't require ChatGPT Plus in order to have the API for yourself. All right. Once you are done, once you have logged into your account, it will take you to this section called API keys, where you can go ahead and click on create new secret key to create a new key for yourself. Okay. Before you do that, there is one thing that you have to make sure of, which is go into your, one sec, where is it? You will be having, where is billing? Usage, settings, will you be having billings there? Just a sec. API. Where did billings go? Just a sec. You have playground, documentation, settings. Yeah, my bad. Settings. All right, there you go. Okay. So guys, here you have settings. Okay. You will have to go to settings, and within billings now, you will have to add a payment method. Now, do not worry, you have the option to set your usage limit. So without asking you, ChatGPT is not going to make you bankrupt. Don't worry about it. You will just have to go to payment methods and add your credit card as a payment method. Then you can go to usage limits and restrict how much ChatGPT can deduct from your card. You can set it as low as $5 maximum without asking you. So in that way, you will not be spending more than 400 rupees at any given point in time without you saying a big yes. Okay. So all of this is something that you can set from usage limits. Assuming you will be doing this, let's go back to our API keys. Right here in API keys, you can go to create new secret key, click on it, and here you can give it a name. For example, I'll just put it as Automate X demo and click on this button called create secret key. When you do that, wait for it. There you go. A new secret API key would have been generated. You can copy this. Then you can go to Automate X right here, paste the entire key and click on save settings. All right. For example, I will copy this. I'll go here. I will paste it and I will click on save settings. Okay. And when I do that, my ChatGPT account will be linked with AutomateX, and now I will be able to use AI within Microsoft Excel. Now, because I already had an API key inserted earlier, I will click on the cancel button. For you, you will have to click on the save button once you put your API key. For now, I will click on cancel. And if you ever want to delete a key, you can click on this button called revoke key. And you will be able to revoke this key. So in case you have, for any reason, wanted to delete your API key, it's as simple as clicking on the delete button, revoke key, and it is gone. Okay. Now, coming back to AutomateX, you have your API key inserted right here. Then you can go ahead and use AI in Microsoft Excel. To do so, right here. For example, I have a question, which is, let's take the question, what is the population of India? Question mark. I can use AI in two ways. One way is to use it via a formula. So if I say is equal to, there is a formula called AI freeform within AutomateX. I can simply say AI freeform, select the question, bracket closed, enter, wait for it, and you will get the answer right here. As of 2021, the approximate population of India is around 1.366 billion people. If you want to use the AI freeform button, this is what you need to do. So right here, you have the question. Make sure your cell is selected, which has the question. Then if you click on AI freeform, it will literally just make you press a button called yes and get you the answer. Now, what does this button tell you? It tells you you didn't include the keyword prompt followed by your question or instruction. For better result, it is recommended to use the keyword. Do you want to continue without it? So basically, AutomateX AI is programmed in such a manner that if you add the word prompt before the question, it will give you a much better answer. So if you want to get a better answer, what you can do is you can simply go here at the very beginning of the entire question, simply say prompt. And then you can click on AI button and click on yes. Okay. Give it a few seconds. AI completion request has been successfully processed. You can click on OK, and there you go. You have the entire answer. As you can see, if I just wrap the text around, there you go. As an AI assistant inside Excel, I do not have the live data access. However, as of my knowledge, cutoff date in 2021, the population of India is estimated to be around 1.366 billion people. Blah, blah, blah. That's how you use AI within Microsoft Excel. And this is just using ChatGPT to get you the answers. There are multiple ways in which you can use AI for data analysis, for formula generation, for automation, which we are going to understand as a part of this video series as well. So this is one of the functions that you have right here, which is called AI freeform. Now let's look at the smaller functions that you have after that. Right here, if I have, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I want to swap both of these data structures. One way to do it would be to go here, copy this data or cut this data, paste it somewhere else, then go here, cut this data, paste it here, and then again go here, cut this data, paste it here. Or instead of doing all of this, what you can do is select this data, click on the swap button, and they are done. It's exchanged. So as you can see, 4, 5, 6 is right here, 1, 2, 3 is here. If I click on it once again, your work is done. Now, swapping by its literal definition will mean one column with another column. All right. So if you have this question, sir, can we do it with 3 different columns? The answer is no, because that's not how swapping works. Okay. So yeah, that's about it. Then we have transpose. If you want to transpose your data, for example, if you have this data and you want to transpose it, let's make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Select the data, click on transpose, and now it is transposed. If you want to have, let's say, this data transposed, again, I can click on transpose and my work is done. And I can delete this now. All right. So this is how you can use the transpose button in AutomateX. Then you have something called as flip. Now, why is flip very, very important? This is something that you cannot do in Microsoft Excel directly. For example, if I have the name Jatan, I'll just take a couple of more names. For example, I can go with Bhuvan, I can go with Pooja, I can go with Asmita, I can go with, let's say, Nidhi. All right. There you go. Now, what if I want to flip my data? Some people might think, sir, we can sort our data A to Z, but that is not what flipping data means. Flipping data is, I want to have Nidhi at the top, Asmita second, Pooja third, and so on. Now, my data doesn't necessarily have to be in A to Z or Z to A format for me to flip properly. For example, I want Nidhi first, then Asmita. Asmita is A, Nidhi is N. So if I try to sort my data, it will be completely wrong because Asmita would have been the first one, correct? So how do I flip my data? Very simple. Select my data, click on the flip button, and my work is done. There you go. All right. So if you ever want to flip your data, this is something that is going to be the only way in Microsoft Excel, if not for the manual route, to get you your data flipped together. Then you have something called as formatting. I will go ahead and simply give it a color. Let's go ahead and give it this color. Okay. Now, if I go to formatting and if I want to increase the shade of every color, make it, let's say, more dark. All right. I can click on increase and you see this. Now it has become darker. Again, if I click on this, darker, darker, and so on. So if you ever have distracting colors and your boss is like, reduce the shade of it or change the color of it, all you have to do is go here, increase or decrease the shade the way you want. There is also something called as true or false formatting. So if you click on true or false formatting, for example, after selecting these 5 cells, if I click on true false formatting, now you can go ahead, put in true here, and it will automatically have this formatting. False, there you go. Again, you can make it true or false, and it will keep on doing that. Okay. So if you ever want to basically have a true false system, a checklist of sorts, and you don't want to apply conditional formatting manually with the help of a formula, again, selecting the background color, the text color for both of them individually, a very simple way, go to formatting, use true false formatting. Then you have something called as borders. All right. Now, borders is kind of self-explanatory. You can go to borders, you can click on outside border to give outside border. After that, if you can, let's say, want to go and change it to a red box highlight, you can do that as well. So for example, I can go here, insert a red box highlight. I can go change background border color, insert white dividers, remove all the box highlights, all sorts of things. All right. Now, after that, you have something called as merge cells. The first two are again something which is quite intuitive in nature, but let me go ahead and quickly help you understand it. Here we have something called as center across selection. So for example, if I have my name written here, Jatan, and if I select 3 cells, if I click on it and I click on center across selection, my text will be in the center and my cells will be merged just like this. All right. Now, let's say I do this several times, here, and here. And what I want to do is now, let's say after a few days, throughout my entire Excel file, understand where all my cells have been merged. My plan is to use my data inside Power Query. Power Query is a function in Microsoft Excel, and it does not work well with our merged data, our merged headers. So if I want to unmerge all my cells and find out where all I have merged my data, I have the option of doing it manually, or I can go to merge cells. I can go to merge cell manager. you will have all the merged cells mentioned here, their locations. On the click of a button, you can unmerge whatever you want. So for example, the first one we have in the D7F7. So if I click on this particular unmerge option, you see this? Now it has been unmerged. Now it is back to three different cells. Right here we have B9. So we have starting from here to D9. This is the entire data. This is the entire cell. What if I select the next option, which is unmerge and fill down? If I click on it, see what happens. This is something that again is not what Excel will do for you. There is no way for you to unmerge your data and copy that value in every unmerged cell. So if you have Jatan here, there is no way for you to unmerge and have Jatan on all the cells that were merged earlier. But if you click on unmerge and fill down, as you can see, you can do that. All right. So this is basically how the merged cells option work for you. Now, let me go ahead, quickly remove everything. Let's delete this. Let's delete everything else. There you go. And let's remove this. All right. Now, what is the next one? We have something called as concatenate columns, concatenate rows. A lot of times you will come across such situations. Let's go with the same example. Let's go with just three names for now. Let's go with Jatan, we have Bhuvan, and we have Ramesh, for example. Okay. Now, what I want to do is right here, merge all these names and have a dash between all three names. I want to concatenate all my data and have a dash between all of them. All I have to do is select my data, go to merge cells, concatenate rows. If I click on it, I can go ahead, put in the separator, whatever separator I want. For example, a dash. Click on OK. And there you go. My work is done. So you see this Jatan dash, Bhuvan dash, Ramesh dash. All right. So this is basically how you can concatenate your data very quickly. Again, if you had something like this right here, you had, let's say, something like this right here, you could go ahead, select your data, go to merge cells, concatenate columns. You can put in whatever you want. For example, X, and there you go. Jatan X, Bhuvan X, Ramesh X. Done. All right. So very simple, very quick to use concatenation of your data right here into merge cells. Then you have something called as format numbers. Now, to give you an example for format numbers, guys, let's go ahead and put in a number. For example, 123, 123. Okay. And I'm going to do this several times right here. Now, I will select my data, go to format numbers. I have the option of formatting them as just a number. So if I click on this, as you can see, now I have my lakhs operator added for my lakhs, for my thousands. If you use this and instead of getting your data into lakhs, you get into crores. That is because of your laptop or your PC, whatever device you are using, settings. So what you need to do is change the region of your laptop or your PC from, by default, some laptops have it as United States. Change it to India if you want to have the Indian metric system. Okay. Now, that is something that you can obviously later Google and do it for yourself, but I wanted to let you know about this. So in case you are getting not lakhs, but millions, that is after 3, you are getting a comma, not for lakhs, but of tens of lakhs. That is because of your laptop region. All right. After that, you have format as 1000. So if you click on it, there you go. Now you have it as 1000. The best part about this is it is not the same as you typing 123.12 -k. Why? Because if you look at it, this is still a number. This is not a number. So if I try to say is equal to 1 plus this cell, I will get error. But if I say 1 plus, let's say this cell, I will get my answer. The reason is very simple. As I told you, this is a number and this is not a number. All right. So this is why you cannot manually change things. Why not manually? One, it simply does not work. All right. Simply doesn't work. Second, even if you try to do this, hours of time wasted, which is according to me more important. So hypothetically also, if it worked, my friend, you will not be wasting hours of your time if you do it with the help of Automatex. I hope that is absolutely clear. Then you can go here, change it to whatever you want, format as lakhs. There you go. It is in lakhs, crore, million, billion, everything is there. Similarly, guys, if you do not want to just format your number into thousands, lakhs, crores, millions, etc. But you also want to go ahead and add a currency symbol. You can go ahead and use the next option, which is called format currency. Change it to format as lakh, for example. There you go. Now you have a rupee symbol. If you have this question, sir, why rupee symbol? What if I want, let's say I'm in USA, I'm in Canada, I want my own country's dollar right here. All right. How do I do it? All you have to do is again change the region of your laptop and Microsoft Excel will work accordingly. So whatever is your default region currency, that is what is added. It's not that only rupee will be added. It depends on your laptop or your PC. Okay. Now, after that, you have something called as format date. If I go ahead and put in a date here, for example, 10/10 slash, or let's make it 12. All right. Just so we have two different days and month. Okay. So 10/12/2025. Now, if I want to go ahead and format it as your month date, either I can go to custom format, change it myself, spend some time there, or I can go here, click on this, and it's done. I can go here, click on this, and it's done. I can go here, and if I want to send it to, let's say, someone who is sitting in the United States, all I have to do is click on MMDDYY, and now it is according to their system. The month is first, day is second. All right. I have never understood why they do it the way it is, but yeah, if you want to go ahead and do it, you can do it. Okay. Then you have something called as, for example, if I just drag it downwards. Okay, let me just put it right here. And there you go. If I want to basically go ahead and apply vertical borders, I can click on this and you will be having a vertical border set up. Now you will be seeing a vertical border which is very light. It is because our by default border setting is very light. So if I go here, change it to a thick line. Okay, now that I have a thick line, now if I go, oops, my bad. If I select this, go here and select this also. It ideally, one sec. No, my bad. It has to be here, my bad. There you go. So you can click on this bottom part, this separate setting. It is not related to Microsoft Excel's border. It is actually having its own separate setting. I customized it like that. So there you go. Right here, you have formatting setting. Just change the border thickness. Let's make it 2. Click on save setting. And now if you go here, click on the vertical borders. Now you have a much thicker vertical border. If you want to, let's say, make it 4, click on save. Now, if you go ahead, click on vertical border, now it is, okay, even more thick. Okay. If you want to go ahead, apply horizontal formatting for borders. There you go, horizontal, your work is done. It is very, very useful for people who work with tables or keep on formatting their data before sending it to anyone else, including your client, bosses, managers. So very quick solution, as simple as that. Then you have something called as characters. If you click on characters, you have option to add or remove characters. Okay. So for example, if I have, let's go back to our example of Jatan, we had Bhuvan, I guess, Olio, and we have Ashish, for example. I can select all of them, go to characters. I can say add character. I can say enter the character what I want to add. For example, I will say Mr. / Mrs. Okay. And a space bar. Then I will say, where do I want to add? So what is the location of my character? I want to add it at the very beginning. So I can say, let's say, for example, there you go. One sec, loading. Oh, my bad. Let me make it 1 because you don't have a 0 character. So I need to have a minimum of 1. Let's make it 1. All right. Enter the position, first position. Then I'll click on OK and it's done. Okay. Now, if I wanted to, for example, let's go back to Jatan, let's go back to Bhuvan, let's go back to Ashish. If I wanted to go ahead and also add a space bar, which I forgot to add, again, I can go to add character. I can go here, make it Mr. / Mrs. space bar. And now I can go here, put the position as 1, click on OK, and my work should be done. There you go. All right. If I want to remove something, similarly, I can go here, characters, remove characters, and I have the option to remove all the extra spaces. I have the option to remove any kind of line break or something called as non-printing characters in Microsoft Excel. And I can go here, put in whatever I want, and then click on OK. And there you go. It's gone. All right. So this is basically how you can use add or remove character in case you want to. Next, you have change case. Now, there are a few text formulas in Microsoft Excel. What formulas do you have? You have upper, you have lower, you have trim, you have a couple of more, you have proper, you have left, which is not technically a text formula only, but well, you still have it, right? You have something like a text left, sorry, you have right, you have mid, all these things, right? Again, you have something called as substitute, you have something called as replace, you have something called as find, you can have something called as search, all of this, right? But if you want to modify your text, basically these are the formulas which can help you out. So for example, if you have something called as Jatan right here, and if you want to make it uppercase, all right, let's make it Jatan all the way downwards and even towards the right hand side. Okay. If I wanted to do it with the help of a formula, I would have to be like is equal to upper, select Jatan, now it is capital. What if I wanted to make everything lower? Lower, select it, now it is lower. If I wanted to make it proper, so for example, if I had Jatan like this, if I want to make it proper, I can make it proper. And what is the meaning of proper? Basically, the first letter of every word will be capital, everything else will be lowercase. If I hit enter, my work is done. There you go. Now, the problem, when you start facing this problem, right? By the way, all these things, you can do it with the help of AutomateX also very quickly. So for example, change case, you can go with uppercase, done. You can go with lowercase. You can go with proper case, done. Or you can, just to give an example, here you have the improper case, you can go here, change it to proper case, work is done, all right? Now, guys, the problem comes when you have, let's say Jatan is my name, like this. Now, what I want is a sentence case. How do you write a sentence? If you have this sentence, how do you write it? The first letters, the first word's first letter will be capital. Everything else, before you have that full stop, will be small. So, for example, is my name full stop. Then, what if, let's say, I have one more thing, which is I teach Excel. All right. Now, let's say I want to make Excel also small. Okay. So CH capital, Excel small, something like that. I can go here and simply say I teach Excel, full stop. This is what is our sentence case, where after the full stop, the first word's first letter is capital. The first words of the entire statement's first letter is capital. Everything else is small. Is there a formula in Microsoft Excel which can directly help me get this? The answer is no. There is no formula which can help you do this. But if you go ahead, select this, you can go to, let's say, change case, something called as sentence case. Done. It's the exact same as what I did manually. So if you, and this is a very useful thing, because if you ever work with any kind of text data in Microsoft Excel, you would have come across capitalization mistakes. You would have seen people by mistake after full stop not making the next letter of the next word capital, or by mistake making things capital which are not supposed to be capital. Here you have the answer, here you have the solution, and you also have a very fun thing called, where is it? Toggle case. So if you click on toggle case, every alternate letter will be uppercase, lowercase. So for example, something like this. So in case you want to go funky, you can do that. But yeah, that's about it. That's basically what you have in change case. Okay. Then you have something called as cells. Now, let's take an example. All right. Let's go with 10 and 20. Oops, let me just modify the formatting. Let's go back to 10. One sec. Let me select it. Format as a number. There you go. 20, 30, 40. And I want to divide all of them by 10. And I want to get the answer as 1, 2, 3, 4. How do I do that? Well, one might argue I can say this, divide by this, lock my cell, drag my formula down, all of that. Or you can go to cells, divide by number. You can simply enter the number that you want to divide it by. If I say 10, click on OK. My work is done in the same place. I do not have to do it separately, write a formula, hard code the entire answer of the formula by copying it, pasting it as value, then cutting it from there and putting it to my original destination. Do not have to do that. Very simple. Okay. Again, if I want to go ahead and multiply by 10, done. Okay. So this is basically how you can go ahead, divide by a number, multiply by a number. Then you have something called as if error 0, if error blank. For example, let's say let's go with okay, so let's go with this. Okay. So I have something like this. Okay. I have 10, 20, 0, 40, 0. Now if I try to divide it by 10, okay, and let's lock our C8. There you go. Now if I drag it down, see what happens. All right. Let's make it ulta. Let's do something like this. I want to get an error basically. So let's divide 10 by 0, not the other way around. So let's say we have 10s here. Okay, let's make it, there you go. Now what I want to do is divide 10 by what we have here. So if I do this, I get the answer. Now, there you go. Now you get an error. Okay. So now you have 1, 0.5, 0.25 here, and then we have 2 errors here. If I want to disguise these errors, I can go to cells, if error 0. Now, one might argue, sir, what is the benefit of this? Because there is a formula in Microsoft Excel which is equal to if error, if this is an error, comma, get me, let's say, blank, or let's get me 0. There you go. I get the answer. Now, if I drag it down, I get the answer here as well. The problem is, all right, here is the problem. The problem is, what if you have a divide by 0 error here also? So let's say I have 10 divided by 0. Something like this. This is how your data is spread out. What you will have to do is create, I can say, is equal to if error. Select this, comma, 0. Now I get the answer. I will have to do it right here. Okay, so there you go. Let me just hit enter, and now I get the answer. The problem is, this is your. This is not your. So how do you transfer all of this right here? Can you copy it and paste it as a value? No, my friend, because if you do that, then what is the point of this activity? Because in the future, if I have some error, because my answer is hard-coded, there is no if-error formula. For example, here I have an if-error formula. You see this if-error formula? You see this here? If I go ahead and copy it, Control-C, paste it as a value, Alt-HVV, what will happen? My formula will turn into an actual hard-coded answer, which is 0. So later in the future, if I have to modify it, and again I get an error, for example, again if I have to do something like a 10 divided by 0 here, for example, again I will get an error. So kya point hai, correct? So what is the logic behind it? Nothing. So in fact, there is no way for you to transfer all of this right here without going into a bit more complications, without kind of applying advanced logic to it. All right, it is technically possible, but it's not worth the effort. So what do? Something that Excel cannot do. Go to Automate X. Go to cells. If error 0. Done. The best part is, it is not converting and hard coding your answer here. It is basically creating, as you can see, an if error formula in the same cell. Right here, as you can see. So if I had an error here, again, as you can see, the formula is right here. So earlier I had 10 divided by 0. Now it is if error 10 divided by 0, otherwise a 0. This is the benefit of it. So in the future, if I go here and I modify this, for example, if I want to go here and I change 10 divided by 0 to 20 divided by 0, for example, I will still get a 0 because my formula is working. That is the benefit. All right. So I hope this is clear. Similarly, you have if error blank instead of 0. If you want to, let's say, select a data, go to cells, if error blank, you will be having a blank as well based on that. All right. It will not work in this example because we already had the if error formula. All right, which is negating your error at all, because the error is being converted to 0. So the second part, which is if error blank, will not be applicable because the answer is not blank, it is zero. All right. So not the best example to give, but I hope you get the point. You can do it either if error zero or if error blank as well. Then we want to go about with it as well. All right. Then you have something called as cell value to note, note to cell value. Okay. So if I go here, right click, add a new note. What is my note? My note is, let's say client wants a 10% increase in revenue for 2024. Now, for all the finance professionals right here, I'm pretty sure me being one of y'all also, I used to work as a financial analyst earlier. So I understand how irritating such comments or notes can be, because your client or manager will keep on putting all these notes and you're expected to go ahead and modify all of them, right? So here is one such note. For example, you can go here, click on cells, cell value to note. All right, or note to cell value, sorry, the opposite first of all, note to cell value, and you can go ahead, convert this into, for example, let me just quickly show it to you. Let me press, okay, let me just do it once again. Edit note, change it to, let's say, client wants 10% increase. Okay. Now, the thing is, let me just make it bigger. The thing is, let's say I have 2%, okay, right here. And your boss has given you a 10% increase wala note here. You can go here, change cell value to note or note to cell value. So for example, if I click on note to cell value, earlier I clicked on the first one. So let's go ahead and do the second one. Right here, you can convert whatever your note is into the actual value. So now you can go ahead and modify it. So if you ever wanted to, from your notes, pick up something and put it right here, or basically select multiple notes, this, and this, and then convert the cell note into a value and then simply highlight it just like this, so that all the changes you can do once. Instead of going to one cell, looking at the note, changing it, going to the next cell, then looking at the note, changing it. This is the best way to do it, converting all the notes into the actual value so you can see everything together and make those changes together as well. Okay. Next. Along with that, guys, you have something called as number to word. So for example, if I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and if I have the same value once again, if I want to convert this into Indian word system, I can click on Indian and it is done. Rupees 1,23,000, blah, 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 done. What if I want to go ahead and do it in a cell below my actual value? So I do not want to disturb my actual number. I want to do it one cell below. Okay, so let's do that. Right here, I can click on this, Indian, one cell below. Done right here. Okay. Similarly, if you want to do it for, let's say, international, you can go here, one cell below, or just click on international to do it in the same cell and it's done. So whether you want to do it in the lakhs or crores system or the millions or billions system, one is called international. There are only two things that can be possible. Here we are not talking about currency. So currency can be many, but the metric system can only be two, either lakhs and crores or millions and billions. I do not really know of a third one, right? So this is basically what you can do and convert your answer into whatever you want, all right? And you're good to go. Then you have something called as replace formulas by values. So for example, if I have is equal to sum, one sec, 1, 2, I copy it, I paste it here and make this 1, 2, 3. And I have one more formula here, just to give you an example, which is blank, this cell. Now, I can go select my data, replace or I'll just keep it the way it is, replace formulas by values. If I click on it, the explanation here is quite intuitive in nature. Once you read it, you will understand it. So let's read it together. Enter the formula name you would like to replace by values. So if you do not want to keep a certain formula and you want to convert it into a value, for example, I do not want to have the sum formula in my entire data, in my entire Excel file. I want to reduce it to just the actual value. All I have to do is go here and put in the name of the formula. Remember, this is a change which is permanent because we are going to use macros to implement this change. So you cannot undo it. So be very careful with this. Now, if I click on or just put in the sum formula and click on this button called OK, the sum formula has been successfully replaced by values. Now, if I go here, as you can see, I only have 3. There is no sum formula. Again, I only have 6 here. So this is extremely beneficial. When you yourself do not know where your formulas are. For example, you have used 17 different VLOOKUP formulas across your Excel file. Or, for example, let's take the most practical example. You are using Office 365. You have used the XLOOKUP formula. And you are about to send this file to your client. And client is like, I am using Excel 2003. I don't want to update only. I want to use Excel 2003 version, which does not have XLOOKUP. What will you do in that case? Manually go, hard code the value, or simply go here, click on this particular button, XLOOKUP, your work is done. Okay. So that's basically how this particular function works for you. Then you have something called as create named ranges. Okay. Now, how does it work? Create named ranges is basically going to help you. For example, if I have sales profit, 1, or let's make it 10, 20, 30. 1, 2, 3. Select it, click on create named ranges, done. Now, what is happening is based on my header, which is sales and profit, I have 2 names successfully created for my data. So 10, 20, 30 is now going to be called sales. 1, 2, 3 is now supposed to be called profit. Now, the best part is because this is the case, my formulas are going to be 100,000 freaking times easier to read. Why? Because now I can say is equal to profit divided by sales. And I get my answer here. Now I can simply use this. Let's say I'll just copy this control, or let's cut it and let's put it right here. There you go. All I have to do is format it and my work is done. So I can go here and I can say this is my profit percentage. There you go. How easy is this to read? And you can use this reference wherever you want. For example, VLOOKUP, here I want to find out, let's say, profit in this entire data, and I want to basically get, comma, the corresponding. Let's make it table array. Let's make the table array as the entire data. There you go, comma. Now I want to get my profit percentage right here. So if I close the bracket, hit enter, now I get my profit percentage right here, right? This is much better to understand as compared to what I would type as, let's say, C28 to C30, right? So this is basically how it works. And you can do it even for your table array. So you can select this data and call it table array also. You can do it for sales, profit percentage also. If I select it right now, I'll go here, click on this, my work is done, click on yes, and there you go. Profit percentage, done. So this is basically how you can use your named ranges as well. Let me go ahead, delete this for now, and let's move on to the next one. All right. After that, you have an entire section called cells, which will allow you to insert a drop-down list, insert checkboxes, select cells, and again, you can select all different kinds of cells. For example, only select the cells which have bold text. Create a drop-down list for all my items. So for example, if I have, let's say, name, Chatan, we have, let's say Rakesh, and we have Ramesh. I don't know why I go with such usual names, but yeah, there you go. Sure. Insert drop-down list and please type the name range. I can call it ABC. All right. One sec. Select it. Insert drop-down list. Oh, my bad. First, we have to create the named range. So let's go ahead, select this, click on named ranges. And now you have the name first. So now we have all three names called name. And now I can select whatever I want. So for example, if I select this, I'll go to cells, insert drop down list. And now I can say I want a drop down list of name. So now you can see this. I have a drop down list here. I have a drop down list here. I have a drop down list here also. If you wanted to do this individually, you would have to go to data for every cell separately, then go to data validation, then go here, click on custom list. Then you go here, select your data, click on OK, then you are done. Then you have to drag down the entire formula, and now you are done. Now you have all of this. And in the future, you do not have a name range. So if something changes here, it won't be applicable here, but in our data, it will be applicable. So that's the difference, something that Excel cannot do. Faster, better, and virtually impossible in Excel, done with the help of Automate X as well. After that, you have something called as show all the cells. So for example, if you have a formula somewhere, and if I go to cells, show all cells, you will be having, one sec, show all cells, should ideally work. One sec, select data, cells, show all cells. Okay, something up with that. Strange. Never mind. I'll just have it checked once, but that's basically how it is supposed to work, which is show you all the cells which contain the formula expanded with the formula displayed to you at the same time. All right. This is there. Along with that, you have something called as delete empty cells. So for example, if you have one, two or something like that, you can select this data, go here, click on delete empty cell, and you can delete all the empty cells in between. So this is the best when it comes to, let me just give you an example. If you have something like this, okay, if you have data like this, okay, and you want to get everything together and remove all the extra spaces. So let's say this is sequence of shift, and you have employee number one covering this, two covering this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so first shift is by employee one, then two, then three, right? And we are basically keeping spaces in between for people who were earlier there but canceled their shift, not available, whatever the case is. Want to push it all together? You can do simply select all data, go to cells, go to delete empty cells, and yes, okay, and it moved up. Oh, we had earlier data right here. Let me again go ahead, do that, delete empty cells. Yes, now it's done. All right. So this is basically how we can use delete empty cells as well. There is one more thing called as clean formula, which I particularly found very, very helpful. Normally what happens is if I say is equal to sum, for example, and I go to the next worksheet and I select a cell. Okay, so let's go ahead, select some cell. Let's go, I select this cell. Now, if I press comma and I go back to my main worksheet, look at the problem here. I am in the same worksheet, in the same cell. Right here, I still have Automate X, which is the worksheet name. Even though I'm in the same worksheet, my formula is also in the same worksheet. So even if I remove this much part, I will still get the same answer. There is no need to refer to the worksheet again. So whenever we kind of select data from some other worksheet, come back to our original worksheet, this happens. And I personally find it very irritating because in a very long formula, this becomes a problem. It creates confusion. So now if I close the bracket, I still get the answer, but now I have the ability to go here, click on cells, clean formula. And it will allow you to clean the formula as well. So you can go here, one sec, you can go here, click on the clean formula button, and it will remove the sheet references from the selected cells as well. All right. Now, guys, along with that, you have something called as table of contents. Whenever you want to send your data to your client, your bosses, your managers, you need to have a very clear index at the very beginning of your Excel file. If you have been creating indexes manually, you do not have to do that any longer. Go ahead, click on this table of contents button. Once you click on it, your entire index is ready in front of you. Whatever color you have assigned to your worksheet, even that color is here. a preview of the entire Excel file at the very beginning. Your client can click on any worksheet, for example, this one, and go to that worksheet. You also have the ability to add a back button. You click on it, back button added, they can go here and there you go. That's it. You can also have the ability to remove the back button and it's gone. So this is how you can use AutomateX to create an index as well. We also have custom functions within Microsoft Excel, that is custom formulas, which is something that we will be discussing in the next video as well. Something called as paste exact formula, password manager, combining your data, getting data from PDF, and even checking for any kind of updates. License is something that we have already had a look at earlier. So we just have a few functions and formulas that we have to look at. So far, I have explained you a ton of different features, functions that you have within AutomateX. I hope you have found the entire video to be super helpful and understood how to use different features of AutomateX with the help of this video as well. Now, guys, everyone else who is attending this live session, this is for you. All right, guys, has this given you much better clarity on how to use AutomateX, and how many of y'all have found AutomateX features to be super helpful as well? Drop in a yes if you have found it to be really helpful. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. All right. And guys, perfect. Needless to say, you can use AI to generate formulas also. So again, let's quickly record a video before I come back to your questions. Here's one more video starting from now. So in this video, you will understand how to use the AI button, which is the AI freeform button, to also write formulas, automate your work, and even perform data analysis. For example, if you have some data right here and you want to generate a formula for a specific task, all you have to do is put your question at the top of your data. For example, AI, write an Excel formula to find customer name based on the order ID entered in F1. So whatever order ID I have here, I want to have an Excel formula which can get me the customer name of that order. All I have to do is select my data with my question always at the top. Your question cannot be at the bottom, at the top of your data, at the very beginning, first the question, then the data. Select it, go to AI, click on yes, wait for a few seconds, maximum 10 seconds, and your work is done. You will require a VLOOKUP formula. Copy this formula, Control C, go here, paste the formula, and your work is done. You see this, Daniel Burke, the answer is absolutely correct. So this is how you can generate any formula in Microsoft Excel. You literally have more than 150 formulas in Excel that you would ideally use at some point in your career. Maybe some formulas you will use once or twice. Most formulas you will use it regularly. Whatever the case is, AI can write the formula for you very quickly. It is not about knowing the formula or not knowing the formula. Like, for example, do you think I do not know how to use the VLOOKUP formula? I certainly do know how to use the VLOOKUP formula, but will I ever match the speed of AI when it comes to writing complicated formulas? For example, if I have to write a formula which is 3 lines long, I'm pretty sure if I simply write what I want and use AI to generate the formula, I would end up saving time. So first, whether you are an expert or not, you can write formulas. If you're not an expert, that's perfect for you. Even if you are an expert in Microsoft Excel, it is still going to save you a lot of time. All right. Guys, you can use AI for data analysis. Simply say, analyze my data, give me 5 insight. Select your data, select the question, that is, analyze my data, click on the AI button, wait for a few seconds, and your work should be ideally done. Let's wait for it. Wait, done. All right, there you go. So now you have a total of 5 insights in front of you. You can ask for insights about revenue, about profit, about quantity, whatever data you have selected. AI is smart enough to help you with that. All right. So all you have to do is say, analyze my data and give me 5 insights about X. And you can say X is revenue, profit, whatever you want. Okay. Simple as that. You can also use AI to automate your work. For example, create a VBA macro to give blue color as worksheet color to every alternate worksheet I have in my current active workbook, starting from first worksheet. I want to basically give a blue color to all my worksheets. Assume I have 500 worksheets in this Excel file. Okay. If that is the case, I don't want to do this manually. I want VBA to help me out, right? So I'll go here, click on the AI button, click on yes, give it a few seconds, and you will have an entire AI output worksheet giving you the answer in front of you. Let's wait for it to do that. There you go. Done. All right. So you have the entire VBA code right here. I will copy it. It starts from this dash 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 VB all the way till your last three. I think this is dash 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 or whatever it's called, right? So I will start from your sub. Copy this. Go to AI free. Let's delete this worksheet for now. By the way, let me just copy this. Let's copy. Let's put it into a notepad. Let's open up a notepad. There you go. Perfect. I'll copy this, Control C. Now go ahead, delete this, delete, go to Automate X, developer. Within developer, go to Visual Basic. Within Visual Basic, I will go to my workbook. So right here, I have my workbook. I will go here, paste it. By the way, if you don't know where to go, how to go, don't worry. Below the code, Automate X AI also told you where to go, what to do. I'm basically skipping that part just to make this video very quick for you, but every instruction will be given to you along with the code, so you can simply follow it. Okay. And you can click on the play button and your work is done. So yeah, there you go. Right. You can also go and basically be like, I want a specific blue color, let's say with hex code, hashtag 1A blah, 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 whatever. Right. So whatever hex code you have for the blue color that you want, and you can go and choose a specific blue color also. Your imagination plays a very big role. If you can imagine something, if you can just think about something, it is possible in Microsoft Excel with the help of AI. You just have to think of the problem that you want to solve, and you need to have the ability to put it into words the way I have done it. That's it. All right. So yeah, that's about it. This is how you can use AI to generate formulas, analyze data, or even automate your work, as you can see in front of your screen. Now, all those people who are attending the session, guys, I hope you have understood all these amazing things. Now, for those people, two things. One, how to install Automate X. I'm only going to repeat myself once again because some people might have joined in late. First of all, do not join in late. It disturbs the entire flow of the entire session. Second, if you have joined in late, how to get Automate X in Microsoft Excel, I will send you the video on the WhatsApp group that you are a part of. Second, sir, I haven't received Automate X license key. If you have either completed 12,200 payment of the entire masterclass, which is the full payment, or you have opted for no cost installment and have paid the second installment, only then are you eligible for your license key. If you have paid only one installment and you're expecting to be given the license key, that's not how it works. Okay. So this is how it works. If you have either completed the entire registration via one-time fee or paid both the installments, go to your official inbox, official email ID, whatever you have used to register for the masterclass. Go and search for Automate X. Type let me just make it. Yeah, there you go. Automate X, that's the word. If you type it, you will have an email which says Automate X license key. If you do not have that email, I will be sending, along with the tutorial, a Google form on WhatsApp by tomorrow. It will have your name, email, phone number to be mentioned. Once you mention that, our systems will check if that is the same email ID that you have used to register for the masterclass. If you make a mistake of giving me another email ID, most people right now have multiple email IDs that they use. Absolutely okay. But if you have made a payment and entered abc@gmail.com for the masterclass at the time of payment, and if you put in that Google form xyz@gmail.com, it will not match. Our entire system will show that you have never registered for the masterclass and you will lose the access of everything else also. So be very careful with it. Go to your mailbox. If you don't find Automate X, search for Razorpay. Razorpay, no spaces. And on the mailbox that you have a Razorpay receipt which says you have successfully paid XYZ to Skill Nation. That is the email ID that you have used to register for the masterclass. So let me be very clear with this. If you make a mistake, your entire access will be gone because our system will flag that email saying that this person is trying to scam us. Do not do that. Check for the Razorpay receipt. Wherever you have it, mention that email. I hope it is absolutely clear. I will not be repeating myself once again. If you haven't paid attention, joined in late, go through the recording of the entire session. We'll be giving it to you as well. All right. On that note, guys, first of all, before I move on to your questions, it is 1 hour, 10 minutes into the entire session. The session is technically, officially over. Before we move on to the questions, guys, everyone happy with today's session? All those people who wanted AutomateX tutorials, sessions, everyone happy with this now? I've explained you a ton of features, ton of things. Barabar hai sab? Chalo. Wonderful. Very good, sir. Very happy. Perfect, guys. So all those people who wanted this, I have done that for you. If you don't have a question, feel free to exit. I will only be answering questions which I haven't covered already. I do not want any person to tell me, sir, I joined late, how to install AutomateX. None of that nonsense. I'm here to respect your time. It's a Sunday. Please make sure you make the most out of it. If you have joined even a minute late, do not ask a question. Go through the video first. I will give you all the recording. And then if you have a question, write to my support team. But if I see anyone asking a question which I've already covered, I will call out your name and tell you that you haven't paid attention. So don't do that. All right. Chalo. On that note, guys, let us go ahead and look at the questions. The questions in the chat. Chalo. Let's do that. Okay. Okay. Sir, I have a doubt regarding AutomateX. I have now Office 365 that you have provided. If I install AutomateX in this account, would I also lose my AutomateX after 5 years? No, you will not. Would the output of macro remain every time with open files or need to run every time? It depends. Whatever macro you are using, if it's a macro which requires you to enter it once again, it will have to be once again entered. It does not depend on AutomateX. It depends on the type of macro you are creating. Okay. Can the output of AutomateX operated sheet be available to end user if he has not AutomateX on his PC? Again, depends. For example, if you have converted, let's say 123, 123, and if you are converting this into a number, you can hard code this number or this word, Control C, Alt H V V. Now it is a text. Now you can send it to anyone and everyone. So it depends on what function. There is no yes or no answer to it. Depends on what you are doing. Okay. What would be the subscription amount after completion of 2 years free subscription for those who haven't joined the masterclass? I do not want to sell AutomateX. It is only for my masterclass students. If any of your friends, any of your family members, any of your colleagues, bosses, managers want to get AutomateX, they can sign up for the masterclass, with the help of which they will get AutomateX for free. So if you want AutomateX or anyone else wants AutomateX, make sure they sign up for the masterclass. That is the only way to get AutomateX. Okay. Chalo, what else? Nikhil Harad, AutomateX questions. You are asking a completely different question. Not how it works. Okay. How can we install AutomateX in company laptop? Ask your company. I am not the owner of your company. If your company is saying, no, you cannot install it, you cannot install it. That is something that is not in my control. There is absolutely no outside sources in AutomateX. So if your company still has a problem, they are basically not wanting you to use AI. I can't do anything about it. But I can assure you the entire application, the entire software is 100% safe. You can scan it 10,000 times. There is no error, virus, whatever the case is. Okay. What else? Jatan, can you provide the video of create index tool within Excel? I lost that video. Varun, write to support. Again, you lose the video, write to support. I'm not able to use ChatGPT. I see an error 429. Mohammed Amir, you have joined in late. Go through the recording of the video. I will call out names of people who are asking me questions which I've already covered. Again, if you have joined in late and you make the mistake of asking a question, I will call out your name. Do not do that mistake. If you have joined in late, respect other people's time. Okay. Chalo. Can I install Can I install Office 365 without Microsoft Excel? How does that? No, you can't. It's an entire package. Okay. I don't have a credit card, apply for one. What else can I say? There is no other way. Okay. Or you can ask your family members, whoever has a card, you can ask them. Can the access key used by family too? Anyone who basically has the access, the key access key, they can use it. So you can create one and you can share it with 10 people. Absolutely okay. Okay. One more thing, guys. Let me just answer this question. You do not have AutomateX for MacBook as of now. We are planning on creating one for MacBook. If you use a MacBook, there is no AutomateX for MacBook as of now. Whenever we release one version, you will get it as a part of the entire masterclass for free. Okay. There are a bunch of pending questions. So I'm closing the chat, answering those questions first. Then I will again open up the chat for more questions. If you have a question, wait for it. If you have already asked a question, I'm answering it one by one. Okay. Chalo. What else? I'm getting API key error. Perfect way to tell me that you haven't been able to ask me the right question in a detailed manner. Just saying I'm getting an error. How will I be able to help you out? What is the error code? What is it telling? Naveen, need more information. All right. Can I ask a question on Microsoft 365? Not in today's session. Can I reinstall AutomateX in another system? No. It is one laptop, one system, one license key. If you ever change your laptop, you will have to write to support@jatansha.in to get another license key. The moment you activate a license key in the laptop, it is attached to that laptop. Okay. But if you can also share a receipt, sir, I have changed my laptop. Here is the proof of it. Here is the receipt. I have purchased the laptop in front of you, as you can see. Then my support team will give you one more license key. We have no problem with that. All right. So if you change the laptop anytime in the future, most welcome to ask for one more license key, provided you give me a receipt. If you ask me a question without a receipt, will not be giving you a license key. Okay. What else? The sheet which we use to the sheet which we generate to send to other parties, will the AutomateX used? Sanjeev, I have no idea what English that is. Please ask the question once again. Okay. Can we use this to answer that question already? Do we have any additional cost for automation? No. Sir, I'm not able to activate AutomateX in macOS. Already answered that question. I want to use macros. Already shown you how to do it earlier. I get error 429. Mohammed Amir, as I told you, you have joined in late. Do not ask that question. How to get extension key for AutomateX? Sudhir Datta, you have also joined in late. In the first 15 minutes of the entire session, I've covered how to get AutomateX license key, AutomateX API from ChatGPT, both. Watch the video. Okay, sure. Guys, I would skip. If I skip a question, it means I have answered that already earlier. Okay, so I'm just skipping questions, calling out names of people who I'm skipping questions of because I've already covered the answer of it. Chalo. Chandan, AutomateX will be there in Google Sheet. No, it is for Microsoft Excel. Okay. Is it mandatory to add a card detail in ChatGPT? Yes. What else? Anything else? Anything else? Chidambaram Ganesan, covered in the first 15 minutes. Watch the video. What else? Is there a tentative timeline to get support of AutomateX MacBook? First quarter of 2024. All right. Trouble in... Okay, never mind. What else? Can you provide a guide to set up AutomateX in MacBook as well? Whenever I have one version of it, I will give it to you. Absolutely. Okay. What else? Can we install key in both personal and office laptop, one user, one license key? Okay, not two. What else? Waiting for an update for AutomateX MacBook. I will give it to you. Chalo, what else? Can Word document cases be imported to Microsoft Excel? No. You have to convert that to PDF or copy paste your data. Okay. 174 formulas with AI, how to look at it. You can simply ask a question. I have shown it to you earlier. Again, I think you have joined in late. I have shown it to you right here in front of you. All right. It can be any formula in Microsoft Excel that you want to generate. You can generate it from here. Okay. What else? Do we need to pay OpenAI to use AutomateX? Hardly 50, 100 rupees maybe if you want to use it in the future. If you go beyond the $5 limit, again, depends on your usage. You don't have to pay to use AutomateX. If you want to use AI in AutomateX, you can pay like 50, 100 rupees max. All right. And that also directly to ChatGPT, not to me. So I'm not making you pay me more money. It's basically according to your use. Guys, I hope everyone is clear with this. Let me very quickly clarify. If you purchase a SaaS, a software as a service, right? If you want to have additional features unlocked, which is given by a third party, then you obviously have to pay for it. And that's hardly $1 or $2 depending on your usage. All right. And that also directly goes to ChatGPT. I have zero say in it. I earn 0 rupees out of the entire system. All right. So depending on your use, even a heavy usage will make you spend hardly $3-4, ₹200 every month if you have heavy usage. If you share your entire API key with like 10 people, then it will cost you that much amount of money. But I don't make a single penny of it. Everyone clear with this, guys? Everyone understands why you have AI and why you have to pay for it, whatever the case is. I am not making any money out of it. Everyone clear with this? The chat is open. Yeah, simple. Hai? Chalo, perfect. So wonderful. Thank you so much. Now, coming to next question. One sec. Will my company data get shared on the cloud by you? Abhi to bola hai, Automatics is not having any cloud version. Nothing is there. Your data is not stored anywhere else. All right. So no, I don't know what you're typing. I have zero idea about your Automatics usage. It is not stored anywhere. Okay. What if I work in India for US database and want dollar instead of rupee symbol? Convert your region into US. Simple. What else? One sec. Question. Hi, Jatan. Don't know if this is possible, but okay. Is there a question? Is there a way that we can find out those emails in the mailbox which contain invoice in the PDF? Not a question for Automatics. I'm going to skip that for today. What else? Karthik N joined in late. Go through the video. All right. What else? I'm not having any Office installed on my system. Again, not a question. Okay. Chalo, I'm going to skip all these things and move on to actual questions. Chalo, what else is there? Will Automatics support in Google Sheet? No, as I told you, it is for Microsoft Excel. Google Sheet does not have VBA. Google Sheet is very limited. If, to be very honest, if you are using Google Sheet, you are restricting yourself. So if you want to work faster, better, use Excel. Google Sheet is not very fast. Okay. What else? Anamika, I have answered that question already earlier. Okay. How to create dashboard using Automatics? Whatever dashboard you want. Want to have a template for accounts payable, for finance, you want to have anything like this, or marketing, you want to have all of this. For example, you want to go ahead and make marketing budget analysis. You can click on it. Dashboard is here. So depending on your use, you can create a dashboard. It's completely up to what you want to make. Okay. What else? Is Office 365 mandatory for Automatics? No. You can use any Excel version. Okay. If I change my PC, can I install it once again? Vinod, as I told you, send a receipt of your purchase of a new laptop to support@jatansha.in, and only then will they be giving you one more license key. If your company has given you one more laptop and you don't have the purchase receipt, obviously give a mail. Show me a screenshot of the mail by your company where the email is mentioned by your company that you have gotten a new laptop, and then you will get a new license key. This is to avoid having a server load which will slow down other people's systems, other people's usage. All right. So only if you have a legit reason to get one more license key, you will be given one for free. All right. You don't have to pay for it. What else? Do you have any feature in Automatics for spell check? No, but that's a good idea. I might add one in the future updates. A spell check is a good thing that a lot of people might really enjoy. Okay. What else? How to add more features to Automatics? You can't. I can. If you have a feature request, let me know. I will try to help you out, such as the spell check request that I think someone else earlier made as well, a few seconds back. Yeah. Subir Datta, I can see two questions asked by you, which have already been covered. I do not like to call out names, but Subir, please make sure if you have joined in late, do not ask a question as I've instructed already. First and last time replying to that. All right. Chalo, what else? Masterclass 215 batch, I have completed 50% of Excel program. Should I increase my pace to cover the masterclass in the next 30 days? You can, absolutely. It's holiday season. If you have a lot of time to yourself, go ahead, spend more time. Because as and when workload piles up, right, after January 2nd, 3rd week, people will start again getting back to work, getting more busy. So tabi you might reduce your time. So if you have time right now, you can increase the speed right now. Absolutely fine. All right. Cool. I think I've answered like a ton of questions so far. Everything else which I've skipped, it's completely something which I've already answered earlier. So if your question is skipped so far, I have answered that already earlier as well. All right. Chalo, guys, last couple of minutes. If you have a question, let me know in the Zoom chat. The Zoom chat is once again open for you. Let's go. Okay. Chalo, I have again received 10 to 14 questions. I'm answering it one by one. Uh, Haneen K, watch the installation video. Do not make the mistake of trying to double click on the AutomateX file and trying to open it. It's not a Microsoft Excel file. Watch the video. You will understand how to install it and get it as a tab in your Microsoft Excel. Watch the video. All right. What else? We have Akshar asking, what are the use cases of swap? Multiple use cases depending on your department. So if you want to, for example, I want to swap this. Let's say I want to swap these two columns. How will I do that and save time? By clicking on this. Yeah. How else would you do it? Control X, paste it somewhere else, again Control X, do it here, then Control X, do it there. That's a use case, saving time. Merge cell manager, is it keeping a record of only merged cells with AutomateX or merged cells from the entire worksheet? Everything. Every merged cell that you have in your Excel file, everything, not just by AutomateX. Okay. Third question, can you only remove Mr. and not? No, you can't. As of now, you cannot. How is table of content different from the bonus shared earlier, which is the create index add-in? Well, this is much better. Create index add-in will create a list of different worksheets. This is going to give you a sneak peek into what the worksheet has. For example, here you can see what the worksheet has. Isn't that much better? Plus, second big difference is you can add a back button, which is not there in the create index worksheet. It does not have a back facility. Okay. What else? Is there a time limit till when I can get the AutomateX key for a new OS installation? I just want to understand what will happen when I upgrade or reinstall my OS in the future. If you upgrade your OS, your softwares are not lost. If you go from Windows 8 to Windows 10, officially by purchasing Windows, you will not lose your software. So in that case, AutomateX license key will remain intact. No matter what OS you upgrade to, unless you change your laptop, you would not require one more license key. I hope that is clear. Shalo. Coming to the next one, which is what else do we have? Again, I'm answering questions only for AutomateX. Everything else later. Sir, is there any way to use debit card? I doubt. I think it will normally only work on credit card. I tried to use a debit card for myself. It did not go through for the ChatGPT platform. You can try for yourself. It's hardly going to take you 2 minutes. So I don't have the answer to it. Try it out. It might work for you. It did not work for me. Hence, I recommend using a credit card. If you don't have one, ask your family member. I'm sure one of your family members will be having a credit card. Okay. What else? Sir, can you explain how can we use AutomateX in a stock market scenario? For example, it can calculate 20 EMA value on the basis of open, high, low, close of a stock. No, you cannot use it for stock market scenarios like that. Okay. Can we have the recording of this session? Absolutely. I will be giving you the recording of it as well. I'm a beginner learner, not confident to install software correctly. Can help them given access laptop. Thereby, if you're basically telling me I'm not confident to install the software, how to install it, I have a video for you. 4-minute video, follow it. You do not have to do it yourself. Follow the video. That's literally all you have to do. All right. And I hope you can do something as basic as that. Watch the video, do the same thing side by side, or kuch nahi karna hai. So it doesn't matter if you're a beginner, it's literally as simple as that. Okay. What else? AutomateX demo Excel file will be shared. Why do you want my Excel file? You can use it for your data. Absolutely okay. All right. What else? I want different workbook specific data into one workbook. Can AutomateX help me to do that? Yes, you can do that. There is something called as combined data, combined files. Sorry. You can use that. I'll be covering that in the next session. Okay. What else? Sir, how to import INR symbol in Excel, my PC, not rupees symbol? Google. Search how to change my laptop region. Okay. How long tutorial video will be available for us? Lifetime. Hi, will a new license key be needed if we format the computer? Yes, and you will have to purchase it. Formatting is not covered as a part of Automatic's license key regeneration. If you newly purchase a laptop, I will be definitely giving to you. All right. Chalo, I hope I've answered that question as well. I've answered all the questions so far. Guys, on that note, I'll be ending today's session. We had a 1.5 hour session, a 90-minute session. I hope it was absolutely useful to you. I will be giving you all the video recordings on WhatsApp by tomorrow itself. All right. So wait for that. Till then, happy learning. I'll see you next week for one more live session. Till then, enjoy the holidays as well, guys. It's Christmas very, very soon. So Merry Christmas to all of y'all. And I hopefully will be having a live session before the New Year. So I'll wish you a New Year back then. All right. Sure. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye. Happy holidays. Bye.